The story starts with Jodi and Will talking. Will comes in, gets up and goes to Jodi and asks her if she's in the mood to meet up sometime. But when Jodi stands up and shows how tall she is, Will leaves without a word.
Would you maybe wanna...
Would I maybe wanna what?
Jodi is 185 centimeters and 16 years old. We flash back to when Jodi is 3 years old and already 120 centimeters. Her father wants to give her hormones, but in the end, it doesn't happen. She has always stood backwards in pictures, which bothers her, and nowadays everyone teases her about her height. Farida, who protects him. Jodi's brother Harper is a beauty queen, and she is perfect, except for her allergies.
Sweet, but I'm actually really far.
Ugh. Oh.
Jack, Jodi's old friend, is a short guy who really likes Jodi, but he doesn't reciprocate, always bringing his stuff to school in a milk crate. They talk about how the perfect tall guy won't walk through the door anyway, so maybe Jack can have a chance. Then Stig, the handsome Swedish exchange student, comes in and Jodi falls in love with him at first sight. But not only her, but the other girls too. Kimmy already has been teasing Jodi since they were kids, still this day. Kimmy approaches Stig. Jack's mother arrives with Stig in the car because they're taking Stig in while he's in America.
Surprise! Huh?
Mom, what are you doing?
Jodi asks Harper for relationship advice. Jack doesn't want to be with Stig because he looks too ugly with him. Stig sits down to eat alone and Jack sits down with Jodi.
Guys, come on, he's not that attractive, is he?
Yes.
We'll try living with him.
Okay.
Jodi wants to go to Stig's, but by the time she gets up, all the girls are sitting next to Stig. Meanwhile, Liz flirts with Jack in art class. Harper and her mom take Jodi dress shopping and to get her makeup and hair done, which is difficult. Jodi's phone rings, she answers it, and she is told that Stig is calling and wants to ask her to the prom. However, it turns out that only Kimmy and Schnipper are having fun with her. Stig says that he's the ugliest in school in Sweden. Jack explains that he's the handsomest here in America, the nicest guy in school. Jodi is hiding in the toilet because she doesn't want to meet Kimmy and Schnipper. Farida tries to cheer her up, but it doesn't work. Jodi has a hard time getting out of the toilet and is confronted by Kimmy. She runs into a random room where Stig is playing the piano. They greet each other, get to know each other, and Jodi sits down to play the piano with him. In comes Kimmy, who gets jealous Jodi, and then after Stig leaves, starts fighting with her.
Oh, so it's just a coincidence that the two of you happen to be here together?
Yeah,
Stay away from him.
I will.
Stig and I will be homecoming king and queen.
I don't doubt it.
Stop agreeing with everything I'm saying.
Okay.
Jodi goes home and is met at home by a group of tall people, invited by her father to make Jodi feel better, which backfires. Her father tries to apologize to Jodi, but she tells him that every time he tries to help her, he only makes things worse.
Being tall sucks. Seriously, I only come to these meetings for, like, the free food and the guys. Bathroom's this way, right? Ow!
Stig calls Jodi, but Jodi thinks they are messing with her again. So she starts yelling into the phone, stops and finds out that Stig really did call her. She apologizes to him. Stig asks her out today to watch a musical at home. Jodi goes over to Jack's thinking she's at his place, but finds out that it was Stig. Jack feels bad. They start watching the musical, talking each other. Jack comes into the room, and in a variety of ways to distract Jodi and Stig. He's eating chips and making smoothies. Jodi asks Stig to tell Jack to stop, but he invites Jack to join them to watch the musical. Stig and Jodi sit on the tram, talk a bit, and then have a kiss. Jodi comes home and tells Harper what happened. Stig tells Jack at night about what happened today with Jodi, who feels bad about it. He asks his advice.
How was it?
It was different than when I kissed Kimmy. It was really good, Dunkers. It was intense and passionate, and I could feel her heart beating. And
That's enough. You can stop now.
And he tells him to leave Jodi alone and focus on Kimmy, so that he can have her and Jack still has a chance with Jodi if Stig does this. So the next day, Stig avoids Jodi, and she doesn't understand why this is happening, as the day before was too good. Schnipper tells Kimmy that he is in love with Jodi. Stig invites Jack over, who introduces his goofy personality to the others. He pretends to be Gordon Ramsay and many other celebrities, but Jodi and her friends don't understand the situation. Liz goes up to Jack to talk, gives him a snack, flirts with him a bit and asks him out on a date. Jodi talks to Jack. Jack starts to run away, but Jodi stops him. Jack tells her what he told Stig. While riding his bike into a car, Jack and Jodi go home. Jodi wants to talk to Stig. They agree to stay friends and forget about what happened yesterday. At the carnival, Jodi and Farida are talking. Jack is with Liz. Kimmy goes to Jodi and tells her that Schnipper's into her and asks out Jodi to come with them to the escape room. Jodi cancels Friday's concert with Farida so that she can go with Schnipper to the escape room, saying she's just trying to make Stig jealous.
1 hour.
To hunt for clues, find the killer, meet the same fate, blah, blah, blah. It's not our first rodeo. Can you just let us in?
Whatever. I get paid either way. Wait right there.
They talking and end up going to Jack's house for the prom party. The game begins and they're having fun. The couple sit down on a couch. Stig and Kimmy start kissing, while Liz and Jack do the same. Stig occasionally glances at Jodi, which Kimmy notices. Jodi and Schnipper also start kissing. Jodi says she can't do it. Farida avoids Jodi at school. Stig writes a letter to Jodi, invites her to the piano, tells her that he's embarrassed that she kissed Schnipper, tells her that he's going to break up with Kimmy to be with Jodi. He wants to meet her tonight, but it's Harper's pageant, so they can't. Jodi invites Stig to the pageant so they can be together and she can be at her sister's pageant. Jodi waits for Stig, but he doesn't show up. Harper notices this from the stage. Jodi's dad gets upset to Stig because he tricked her and almost gets into an accident. Jodi goes to Jack's party, where Stig is there, talks to him, and asks for an explanation. Stig tells her that all day he's helped Jack with the house party, so he didn't have time to leave. He hasn't spoken to Kimmy yet and hasn't broken up with her since. Jodi thinks Stig is being frivolous, so she leaves him. Jack and Liz flirt more, but Jack tells her he's not into her, he's in love with Jodi. Jodi goes home and runs up to her room. Her dad goes after her. Doesn't try to make things better, just says is that he loves her and she's always there for her. He sits down to play the piano. Jodi comes down and sits next to him, and they play the piano together. The next morning, Jack goes to Jodi while she's sleeping and brings her a present. Jodi wakes up and gets scared and accidentally hits Jack. Jack has a black eye, but they're lying about why he got it. And he can't even go to the prom because of the party. His parents punish him. He hands over the gift, which is a high heel in her size. Jodi said at the beginning of the film that she didn't have a heel that fit her, so Jack made one for her. Jodi gets a video of Liz filming last night. Kimmy questions Stig in front of everyone. Stig says he was just messing with Jodi and couldn't shake her off and purposely didn't go to the competition either. Jack goes over there, starts arguing and fighting with the others for picking on Jodi. Jack tells the others that Stig is lying and Jodi is a very nice girl and it's not okay to hurt her. Prom night comes. Everyone's having a good time, dancing, talking. The principal goes up on stage and gives a speech and says that they're announcing the prom king and queen. Harper will be the helper and she will read the name. Kimmy and Stig become the prom king and queen. Everyone parties. Stig tells Kimmy he can't do this anymore because he loves Jodi. Jodi walks into the prom in the heels Jack gave her and goes up on stage. She asks for attention and gives a speech saying that everyone at school is bullying her. No one is perfect. Apologizes to Farida. Says she's too a human, a sister, a friend. Admits he kissed Stig and says she's sorry. She asks everyone to accept themselves about what they can't change. Jodi walks out. Stig goes after her. Says they want to start over. Jodi wants to start over, but not with Stig. Jodi goes to Jack, who has the milk crate with him. Jodi tells him she knows why Jack was beaten. Jodi says she doesn't understand why Jack is carrying the milk crate. Jack stands up on the crate so they are on an equal height with Jodi, and then they kiss.